everyone, ready to make some moves. Today we're diving into short-term trading, and we've got a real treat. We're cracking open Street Smart's high probability short-term trading strategies.
Always a good one.
It's a classic. And to help us break it all down, I've got our expert trader in the house.
Glad to be here.
So we're talking Linda Raschke, the queen of intuition, and Lawrence Connors, the tech analysis guru. They don't just talk the talk, they've walked the walk using these strategies themselves. So no fluff, just the good stuff. What's the big takeaway from Street Smarts for you? If someone's got the book right now, what's the core idea they need to grab hold of?
For me, it's all about the emotional game. The market's got feelings, right? Street Smarts is like that friend who tells you what someone's really thinking. You can cut through the noise, see past the hype, and start understanding the market's true intentions.
So it's like the market's sending out signals, and this book gives us the decoder ring.
You got it. It's not just about crunching numbers, it's about psychology, man.
Okay, I'm liking this already. So instead of just staring at charts, we're learning to read the market's mind.
Exactly. You wouldn't walk into a negotiation without trying to figure out the other person, right? The market's the same way. It's got its own language, its own rhythm, its own little quirks. Once you get that, you're way ahead of the game.
That's a great way to put it. So how does Street Smarts help us speak the market's language?
One thing it really hammers home is you don't need to hit a home run every time. It's about consistency, minimizing those gut-wrenching losses, and staying in the game.
Makes sense. Go for the base hits, let the big wins come naturally.
Right on. So instead of swinging for the fences every time, we're taking calculated swings.
Love it. Street Smarts is known for its unique strategies. Any that stand out?
Oh, tons. But one that's both clever and a bit contrarian is called turtle soup.
Turtle soup! Okay, now you have to tell me more.
It's all about those failed breakouts. You know, when a stock's on fire, everyone piles in, prices are through the roof, then suddenly screech, halt, reversal, that's where the soup is.
Hold on, so everyone's thinking, this is it, we're rich, and then nope, and we come in right at that moment of panic.
You got it. It's classic herd mentality. Traders see movement, they react emotionally, no real conviction, just following the crowd. When things cool down, they freak out.
And we capitalize on that freak out.
Exactly. Street Smarts gives you specific setups to play those reversals.
All right, give us a taste. What are we looking for? Paint us a picture.
Let's say a stock just hit a new 20-day low. A lot of traders see that as a bad omen, right? But with turtle soup, you're looking for the exact opposite. You want to see that market bounce back immediately after hitting that low.
So we're betting on that bounce, like a coiled spring suddenly releasing.
Exactly. And there are specific entry and exit points for this, of course. You place your buy stop just above that 20-day low and your stop loss just below.
Smart. So we're in and out quickly if things go south, limiting our risk.
Exactly. And that brings up another crucial point from Street Smart's risk management. It's like wearing a helmet when you're riding a bike, you know.
So absolutely protect yourself.
No matter what.
Right. Even with a killer strategy, one bad trade can wreck you if you're not careful.
Facts. Risk management is key. But before we dive into that, another strategy perhaps. I'm hooked.
Let's talk about the anti-pattern. Anti-pattern. I like the sound of it. Already sounds rebellious. What's the deal with this one?
So the anti-pattern. This one's all about spotting when a trend might be about to do a U-turn. And it uses something called the stochastic oscillator.
Okay, oscillator. That could sound kind of scary, like some kind of high-tech gadget. Break it down for us, for those of us who don't speak fluent tech analysis.
Sure thing. Think of the stochastic oscillator like a fuel gauge for a stock's momentum. It's visual, easy to read, tells you if the price is losing steam, whether it's going up or down. You've got two lines, a fast one and a slow one, and they kind of dance around each other.
Okay, I'm picturing these lines zigging and zagging like a heartbeat monitor for the stock's energy. What are we watching for with those lines?
Love that analogy. So let's say that fast line dips below the slow one while the price is dropping. That could be our signal to buy. Suggests the selling pressure is easing up, maybe ready for a bounce. And the opposite, a cross above while the price is climbing, that could be our cue to sell.
Ah, so we're looking for those subtle shifts, those hints that the tide might be turning.
Exactly. And just like with turtle soup, Street Smarts gives you those clear entry and exit points. It's not just about seeing the pattern, it's about timing, knowing when to strike.
See, this is what I love. This book is all about action, not just theory.
Couldn't agree more. And speaking of action, ready to talk about those smart money moves.
Oh, you know it. Everyone wants to know what the big players are doing. It's like trading's version of a secret society.
Right. Well, Street Smarts actually dedicates a whole section to this, breaking it all down.
Hit us with it then. What's their secret handshake?
No magic handshake, but they do introduce something called the Smart Money Index.
Smart money index. Sounds intriguing. Tell me more.
It tracks the difference between how the Dow Jones performs in the first hour versus the last hour of trading.
Okay, so the opening bell versus the closing bell. Why is that so important?
See, those early birds, they tend to be driven by emotion, by the headlines,
Yeah.
reacting to every little thing. But the pros, the big money, they come in later, more calculated.
So the early birds might get the worm, but the smart money gets the whole feast.
Exactly. Street smarts suggest that when the smart money index is strong and positive, meaning the Dow closes way higher than it opened, it often hints at a market reversal to the upside.
Fascinating. It's like peeking behind the curtain, seeing what the wizards are up to. So that's one tool. The smart money index, what else do they use to track those big players?
They also talk about using something called the tick indicator.
Tick indicator. Lay it on us. What secrets does this one unlock?
The tick indicator tracks how many stocks are going up versus going down on the New York Stock Exchange. Gives you a real-time snapshot of a whole market's mood.
So it's like a pulse check for the entire market. Got it. But what are we looking for here?
Here's the cool part. Street Smarts says to watch for divergences between the price and the tick readings.
Divergences. Ah, now you're speaking my language. Give me an example.
Imagine the market hits a new low for the day, but the tick indicator is actually higher than it was at the previous low. That can tell us there's buying pressure building up even though the price is dropping.
Whoa, it's like those hidden currents in the ocean, changing the tide beneath the surface.
Exactly. Those divergences can be super powerful signals. But like any tool, Street Smarts reminds us to use it alongside other forms of analysis.
Right. It's about putting all the pieces together, not just relying on one magic bullet. So we've got turtle soup, the anti-pattern, the smart money index, the tick indicator. This is like a whole new arsenal of trading weapons. But with all these weapons, there's something else we haven't talked about yet, something just as crucial.
You're talking about discipline, right?
And we're back. Folks, I hope you've had a minute to digest all that because we've covered some serious ground. Turtle soup, the smart money index. It's like we're cracking the code of the markets.
Absolutely. But there's one piece we can't forget, the glue that holds it all together.
You're reading my mind. Discipline. Having those killer strategies is one thing, but sticking to the plan, especially when things get hairy, that's the real challenge.
You nailed it. And Street Smarts doesn't shy away from that. They know it's make or break.
So what's the secret sauce? How do we build that ironclad discipline?
It all comes down to risk management. It's the foundation, the bedrock of successful trading.
Risk management. We hear it all the time, but I'm ready for the Street Smarts take on it.
Think of it like this. You've got the best map, the terrain like the back of your hand. But if you step in quicksand, it doesn't matter. Risk management is about avoiding that quicksand.
Love that analogy.
Yeah.
So how do we steer clear of those trading traps?
Street Smarts is all about calculated risks, never just winging it. One of their big things is setting stop-loss orders before you even think about hitting that buy button.
Stop losses. For anyone who's new to this, break that down for us.
Sure thing. A stop-loss order is basically you telling your broker, if this stock hits this price, sell it automatically. It's like a safety net. Let's say you buy a stock at $50 and you're okay with risking 5%. You set your stop loss at, say, $47.50. If it hits that price, boom, order executed, you're out.
So it takes the emotion out of it. Even if I'm panicking, that stop loss has my back.
Exactly. Protects your capital. And here's another gem from Street Smarts diversification.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket, right? Classic advice.
For a reason. No matter how much you love a stock, there's always risk. Things happen.
Market crashes, surprise tweets, you name it.
Exactly. Street Smarts is all about spreading that risk, not putting all your hopes on one horse.
So if one investment goes south, the others can pick up the slack.
Exactly. Diversification is key, my friend. Okay, so we've got stop losses, diversification. What else?
Yeah, what other risk management nuggets did they drop?
They're big on something called position sizing. Basically, figuring out how much you're willing to put on the line for each trade.
So it's not just about what we buy, it's about how much we're willing to lose.
Bingo Street Smarts gives you some solid guidelines for this, but it's all about finding what works for you.
Right, everyone's got their own risk tolerance. Some like it hot, some like it cool.
Exactly. And speaking of keeping things cool, another big takeaway from Street Smarts is it's a marathon, not a sprint.
No get-rich-quick schemes here, right?
Nope. This is about consistency, managing your risk, letting those profits build over time.
Playing the long game, I can dig it. It's about weathering those market storms, coming out stronger.
Now you're getting it. And that's what makes Street Smart so great. It's not about the latest hype. It's about building that unshakable foundation for long-term success.
This has been eye-opening. I feel like I've got a whole new playbook for swing trading.
Glad to hear it.
And for anyone listening, we've just scratched the surface. Street Smarts is jam-packed with even more wisdom. If you're serious about trading, this book is a must-have. So there you have it, folks. Another deep dive in the books. Remember, knowledge is power, but action is where the magic happens. So keep learning, keep those risk management skills sharp, and until next time, happy trading.